Now we will understand about the Ampscript, which is very helpful in Salesforce Marketing Cloud. So it is majorly used for sake of personalization content. So for different persons, we will be sending, of course, will be sending the same email, but the information in it, content will be same, but the things that grasp the customer attention, like presence of his name or presence of his interests, will make the email more spread, will make the email more attractive to the consumer customer. So it will be helpful for sake of personalization. And it is also a case insensitive language. It means we can use the capital letters or small letters, anything is fine, it's not an issue. And it is basically a top-down approach. So the AMP script follows a top-down approach. What do you mean by top-down approach? For example, if we declare a value, let's say let a is equal to 12. Example I'm telling, if a is equal to 12, we declare, and we have written some statements. And later on, we have declared a is equal to some 13. So it will be at the end, it will be taking a is equal to 13, not a is equal to 12, as it follows the top-down approach. The last value will be considered by it. And the next is it is an interpreter, not compiler language. It is most important. So as it has no separate compiler, so it is not, so it will not be showing any friendly error. That is the major limitation or major problem with using the AMP script. So step by step, there in itself, as it is a top-down approach, it follows an interpreter. Next, it the overall AMP script basically consists from top to bottom only these four elements. One is declaration, initialization, functions, display. Declaration. It is basically an optional, but it is basically a good practice. So when we are writing a long amounts of code, so it will be helpful by declaring variables. So example, var abc is declaration. This is similar to how we will be doing it in C language, int some a. So it is this kind of thing. Next, ABC is equal to data one. So data one is the value that will be stored in the ABC attribute or variable. So here ABC is the variable. So we are initializing a particular value into a ABC variable. Next, function. So it can function can be of any kind. There will be a lot of functions which we will be learning in the further classes. So as of now, let's say CDE is equal to function of ABC. So then we are printing or displaying CDE value. So this is the major component that will be present in the AMP script. So in the further class, we'll be talking about uh, how we'll be writing a simple AMP script to later on to advanced AMP scripts. Yeah, in this session, we'll be talking about the simple AMP script programs. So here, see, this is this is for the sake of scope. Everything we write between percentage and this. So this is the scope. So everything is being implemented, and whatever we need to print, we will be printing it outside this scope. So let's see some sample programs. So here I think we can see, as like we saw earlier, it is a variable var initial declaration, and these two are the variables. And we are setting this variable name as Krish, let's say here, and setting email variable as k@gmail.com. So we are initializing it, we are declaring it. And if we want to print anything, we can just print here. So let's see the sample programs. See, this is the simple AMP script. So this is the scope, and we are printing the name and email address here. Yeah. So this is the scope, and so how the output will be is it is of this kind, name, and so this is here the name will be printed. Here the name we have to kiss Krish. So name KRISH, and the second line will be how it will be printed is email k@gmail.com. Here we also need to understand one thing. So why I wrote V? So it is by default we'll be using this V. So it is particular. So V at the rate of name. What does it mean is we are viewing So we are just viewing what is present in this at the rate of name. So that is why we will be using. And whenever we are using, so this is also inline Ampscript. So percentage is equal percentage. So we'll be using these things when we are writing something in one line. So here what we are writing is v at the rate of email and v at the rate of name. So that's why you are using is equal to symbol when we are writing in one line. So otherwise we can write also it in the blocks in this way. So so one line would be suffice here. So we are doing it in this way. So this is a simple Amp program. So yeah. So now we will see the if else program. So here also we are defining it as this way. Uh, just a second. Yeah. Here this is the scope. So here it is between this scope and this will be printed here. So but we are using if else condition. So this is same as earlier. This is the declaration and these two are the initialization. And this is if else block. So what I am writing, if at the rate of name is Krish, then we are setting some value. Setting is here, it means initialization. Set at the rate of email is equal to Krish at the rate of gmail.com. Else set at the rate of email, nothing. As so, see if this condition is getting true here because the name here is Krish. The name here is Krish. So this will be executed. So this initialization of set at the rate of email is equal to Krish at the rate of gmail.com will be executed. So now what will be the output name? So so this thing. So in the place of name we will have Krish here, and in the place of email we will have Krish at the rate of gmail.com. Observe here. In the earlier example, we have got Krish at the rate of gmail.com, k at the rate of gmail.com. Now we are getting Krish at the rate of gmail.com because we have initialized it to different by using the if else condition. So this thing if else condition. So if we want to write any comment, so we can write in this fashion anywhere in the program. So this is the way comments to write. So the next program, similarly, let's say if I want to display some information with if else condition. So in the earlier if else condition, what we did, we have initialized in the form of a set. So through using the set, we have done the initialization. Now what we want to do is basically the displaying of information using if else condition. Let's see how we will be doing it. So simply if name is equal to Krish, then I want to display something. I want to display, let's say, P. So this is how the program will be. So this is one block. Yeah. So this is one block, and this is one block. Actually, it should be in this way. It should be in this way. Okay. And this is one block. So why you are writing these things? And these are the print statements. So print statements we can't write in the scope of the block. So we are writing in this fashion. So how the output here will be is this is if block. This will be printed because here the name is Krish. So this is how it will be. And even the end if statement, we are putting it in the blocks. So we have one initialization declaration block, one if block, one else block, one end if block. And between it, we are writing the HTML content. So the next program is Inline Ampscript. Basically, what is Inline Ampscript? As earlier we talked about, so within the line we will be writing the if condition and else condition. It is similar to kind of ternary operator, which we will be seeing it in the C language, those kind of things. So let's see how it will. So we are writing it as percentage is equal to. So in between these things we'll be writing, because always the inline Ampscript will be written in between them, and we'll be using the function IIF. So whenever we are using the inline Ampscript, we'll be using this string. So up to now we have seen two functions. One is IIF and other is V. So this is for inline Ampscript, and this is for viewing the value in the particular variable. Example at the rate of name, like that. So yeah. So let's see the condition. If this is the condition, if at the rate of name is equal to Krish, then this will be printed. Means if it is true, it will be. If it is false, if this condition is false, then this will be uh, taken. This will be printed. So and member. So this is the ARM script we have written, and this is the this member and U R value. These things are normal text. So what will be the output here? As the name is Krish here, as the name is Krish here, so the output will be U R value valued standard member. This is how it is. So let's say if I change the name is at the rate of name is equal to, let's say Krish 1. So this is how the name it is. So this condition is false. Now that is true. So instead of standard, we will be getting here VIP. Now let us look at the one of the critical AMP script example. So understanding this example properly would suffice to make you understand 60% of the AMP script. So that much how this example is important. So before this example, let's say we have a data extension. Let this data extension be of this form. So data extension, the name of data extension be, let's say uh, your data extension name. So let this be the name of the data extension we are considering, and it consists of fields like, let's say, uh, gender, age, and some, let's say country. So these three are the fields that this data extension contain. Maybe there are another fields. Let us consider these three. Let's say. So let's say gender male and female. So let's say age of it be 25, 30. Let's say country be India, and let's say country be USA. And let's say there is another person, another female of age 35 from India, and let's say another country, let's say Japan. Let's say age 40, and let's say male. So this is my data extension. So these are my field names. Gender, age, country are the field name. These are the four rows which I have now currently in data extension. So now let's say we are setting up the value. We are setting up the value lookup table India. Let us predefine it. So okay. So what we are doing is set at the rate of rows. Set at the rate of rows is equal to lookup rows. So now what we need to learn is this function lookup rows. Lookup rows is a function which we are using. It basically consists of three fields. One, two, three. Let's suppose. So first field consists of data extension name. So in this case, we have your data extension name is the data extension name we have taken. And second is particularly the field which we are considering. So now in this situation, we are considering the country as the field. So let's say country. And third thing is the field value which we want to proceed with. So I want in the data extension, and let me in the data extension the field I want to consider in my data extension is with respect to country field is India. So at the rate of lookup table. So here the lookup table value India is present. Okay, here I am taking the something field value. So you have already I have initialized it. Here I have initialized it with at zero. Initially, here also here we can the proper good practice is declaration. So var at the rate of lookup value at the rate of rows at the rate of row count. So this could be good. This is a good practice. Okay, now coming to example. So again, we are setting at the rate of row count. Here, at the rate of row count is some variable. Here we have taken, no, it is a variable. In it, we are taking the values of the row using the row count function. See, now we will understand what the row count function will be doing. So what here we are doing, so row count at the rate of rows we are doing. So at the rate of rows is this above one. So here we have at the rate of rows. So in at the rate of rows, we are taking the field value as we are taking the field country with field value as India. So what this at the rate of row contains is basically a row set. We can say it consists of a row set. So what does this row set contains is basically these two rows. This is the first row set and this is the second row set because these two are filtered using the field name country India. So what does this row now consist of is basically male 25, female 35, India, India. So this is the row set which is stored in at the rate of row. Now I am counting the row count of these rows. What is the row count of these rows? Basically 2. So that is what this row count. At the rate of row count, what is the value that is stored is 2. So 2 values stored here. Now, if at the rate of row count is greater than 0, if it is greater than 0, then yes, it is definitely greater than 0. So we are writing here if condition and else condition and ending of if. So it won't go to this else because if is satisfying. Why it is row count is greater than 2. Okay. If it is satisfying, then we are writing some loop for at the rate of I. So it is similar to that of C. How we will be writing for I is equal to 1, uh, I is equal to 1 less than something like 5, something like that we will be writing. No? So similarly here, so I is equal at the rate of I. So here also we can declare this variable var at the rate of I we can declare, which is a good practice. So for at the rate of I to row count, what does it mean? I is equal to 1 to row count is 2. So until then this loop will be running out. So we'll be doing, so we'll be writing the keyword do. So if this condition is satisfied, then what will be do? And we'll be set at the rate of row is equal to row at the rate of rows of I. See here again we have a function row at the rate of rows of I, rows at the rate of I. So here what is the value of I? Currently it is 1. So it is 1. So at the rate of rows, at the rate of rows is this is the rate of rows. This is the row set. At the rate of row set. This is. So it will be taking the first row. So what is the first row? This is the first row. So this will be stored in at the rate of row. So now what at the rate of row contains? So what this at the rate of row contains is equal to. So this thing it will be containing this thing. Okay, this is the thing that will be containing. Next, at the rate of gender, we are taking it another variable. So var at the rate of gender will be also declaring. Var at the rate of age will be also declaring it. So next, at the rate of gender, field is another function. Field field at the rate of row comma gender. So this is what. Now in the field name in a particular row, what is the row we are talking? This is the first row. So this is the first row we are talking about. First row, I want the gender field name. So what is the gender field name? It is male. In first row, it is male. So in gender, what it will be stored is male. What it will be stored is male, male. Okay. Next, set at the rate of age, field name at the rate of row. In that particular row, what is the age? So it will be storing as 25. Okay. Next, if Next, if gender is male, then we'll be setting this message. So here again, there is another variable var at the rate of msg. So this is male content. Yes, this is male, which is true. Yes, so it will be, this loop will be executed and this else if will not be executed. Next end if. Okay, here the it is completed. Next scope is, next we will be printing this thing. Thank you for visiting the ampscript.com. This is the inline Ampscript and this is the inline Ampscript. So presently what will be the output? So this is the output. Thank you for visiting ampscript.com. Ampscript.com percentage v is equal to message. So here in message what is stored is this is stored. So here this is mail content. This is mail content. Your age is 25. So this thing, this 25 will be given. Okay, so next step is we are doing next at the rate of I. What does it mean is I plus plus. In this is similar to I plus plus. So next it will be doing I plus plus and I value will be going to 2. Okay. Okay. So now I value will be going to 2. So now I value is 2. So for okay, for so now it will be set for at the rate of row is equal to row comma 2, means now row at the rate of row is equal to row of at the rate of rows comma 2, because I value is 2 now. So it means it will be selecting the second row. What we saw the second row, this is the second row, right? So set at the rate of gender. So what is the gender in it? Female. And what is the age in it? So it consists of a female and the age will be here is 35. Here it is 35. Okay. If gender is male, so it is not male. So this will not be executed. Else if, so else condition will be satisfied. So here gender is female. Yes, this is true. Here the content will be present here. So in message it will be stored this thing. So here age will be here 35. So again this will be printed. So this is how it is. So here what are the functions we have learned? Let us see once again. Yeah. So one of the function which always understand at the rate of something we are returning means it is basically a variable. So here row is a variable, gender is a variable, age is a variable. So these are at the rate of message means it is also MSG is also variable. These are the variables. Now what are all the functions we have used here is the first function and the most important function which we will be repeatedly using in the table data extension is lookup rows. So lookup rows. So lookup rows. So it will be having a three fields. First is data extension name. Second is the field. What is the field? Field name. Third is the field value. This is the first function we have learnt. And the second function is row count. So what does this row count means? So so this here we are storing. It can be anything. It can be anything. So this is just a variable. So here we are storing the from the before step we understand that we are storing the set, a row set. We are rowing this row set. So in this example we have two row sets with which is filtered using the country which is India. So now the row count, what will it count is row is count is equal to 2. So this is the second function. Next coming to third function, what we have saw is this is the row. Row itself is a function. Row. What are the attributes of it? So here, let's say here we have row at the rate of row, comma at the rate of I. So here we will have something like integer value. So we'll have some integer value. What does this integer value means is what is the which row? Here if it is one integer is one means first row. If it is two means second row. So here what we are talking is row set. So in the row set, what is the row which we are talking about? This is what this row function defines. Next, fourth function is field. So in this particular row, so from the row set, so from the row set we have took a particular row. In this row set, what is the field? So in this row set, what is the field we are talking about? So we are talking about the field like age here. We have been talking about the field like gender here. So and we are storing this value in a particular variable called at the rate of age, this at the rate of gender. So these are the four fields which we are talking here about. Okay, now let me tell you a good practice. So uh, here we have used no rows found by writing it in just the else block. And there is also another way. So by writing this, instead of no rows found, we will be writing this function percentage in bracket raise error and no rows found. So what is the use of it? So before it, we need to understand one thing. Let's say we are sending an email. We have a data extension. In it, there is a field called as a first name. So let's say it has an values like Krish and other is Joseph and other is something like empty. There is no there is a missing value. So for the person here, let's say the email will be of this form: hi Krish, and this is the message. And for Joseph also we'll have like this: hi Joseph, and we'll have a message like this. The content will be same, but here the personalization we are using it to make the email catchy to the consumer with the help of Ampscript. Similarly, here there is the empty thing. So if it is like this, hi, it will be empty and information. So it is not a good practice. It looks very weird to the customer. So instead, what we'll be doing is that, so to tackle this problem, we have two methods. The first method is basically when we are implementing this in a journey, there is an option called to stop the journey or to send the email which is present inbuilt in the journey builder. And the second thing, we can also achieve it through help of Ampscript. So by writing this thing, the email will not be sent to that particular customer. So the email will be failed. So so this can be achieved with the help of Ampscript by writing it in the else block.